Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So we really needed to get 3 wins out of this 4-game series with the Boston Red Sox, who are surging somewhat in the standings in the AL East. That didn't happen, sadly, but we didn't lose the series. 2 games apiece. Split the series. It's okay, I guess. Though, maybe some questionable decisions and honestly a bit of a rough patch of the schedule here in the middle of a 13-game stretch where no off days. Unless you take the guy out of the lineup for a bit, which can be hard. You see, I'm on MassSports.com. Let's get to game 1. Boston Red Sox 1, Baltimore Orioles 5. This Thursday's game from Camden Yards. Remember, 4-game set, Thursday through Sunday. Cowser 2 hits and an RBI. Santander a hit and 2 runs scored, walked once. Henderson 2 hits, 2 RBIs, scored once. You see here, this is why I wanted Henderson in the 3-hole. He's driving in a few more runs. But what you really needed was you needed somebody like, say, Cowser to step up and be able to take that leadoff spot from Henderson. It's working out. It probably works out about as good as Henderson in the leadoff spot. It's just there's more opportunity for Henderson to drive more runners in. O'Hearn over. Mountcastle pinch hitting late for O'Hearn. Again, the lefty versus righty matchup. Does work out this time, though. Mountcastle a hit and an RBI in 2 at-bats. Rutschman over. Dealing with some back issues. Nothing too major, it seems like, but Rutschman definitely isn't 100%. Not that many guys are this time of the year. Holiday over. Mullins a hit and RBI and a run scored. Really need more out of Mullins. Urias over. James McCann with a hit. Oh my God, here we go. Another hit for James McCann. And a run scored. Getting a little bit more playing time because it is later in the year and you want to get Rutschman some time out from behind the plate. A little bit more playing time for McCann, so he's getting more reps, being able to stack appearances and be more comfortable at the plate and such. Santander, Cowser with doubles, Mullins, Henderson with home runs. Mullins also stole a base. He got on with a fielder's choice. Stolen bases have been down. They have. Mateo's injury, there's your biggest stolen base threat gone. Mullins just isn't getting on base enough to carry the load, and nobody else is really fast enough. Zach Eflin getting the start in this game. What a pickup this was, right? 6 full innings, gives up 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, strikes out 8. Wow. Surprised he was let go, or surprised that he was dealt to us instead of, another team willing to spend more. Though I guess maybe the Tampa Bay Rays were like, yeah, we don't want to sell to the Yankees. We'll sell to the Orioles. We don't want to sell to the Yankees. Hopefully, that was their mindset. Gregory Soto in for the 7th inning. Only gets 1 out, but, he doesn't give up a run. He does give up a hit. So in 1/3 of an inning pitched, gives up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, strikes out 1. That's good. We'll take that. Look, we got a fairly nice lead going on by the time he comes in. You got a, what is that, 4? 4-run, it's 4-1, so a 3-run lead. You're putting Soto in, and you're hoping that he doesn't give it all away. Bert Smith comes on in relief of Soto, finishing off the 7th inning, pitching 2/3 of an inning pitched. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Bert Smith would pitch a lot in this series as a decision was made to, get up another pitcher from minor leagues, and so you can push back some of your guys in your rotation and limited the bullpen because it reduces an arm out there in the bullpen, and in tight games, you kind of want to stay away from Kimbrel, don't you? So you kind of hindering yourself there. But I guess as far as the greater good for your starting pitchers, you did that. Perez on for the 8th inning, pitching the full 8th inning. No hits, no runs. Does walk a batter, strikes a batter out. Nice performance from Perez. And there's a 4-run lead at this point, so no save situation. Yanier Cano in for the 9th inning. Does kind of make sense because who else is it going to be? And it also looks like Sir Anthony Dominguez has taken a closer spot. So this is an okay time for Cano because it's not a safe situation. Cano pitching the full 9th inning. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Now coming to the middle of this 4-game series, the very bad, in a sense. Friday's game, Boston Red Sox 12, Baltimore Orioles 10. Wow. Whew. No, this was not a preseason football game. This was a Major League Baseball game. Cows are a hit and a run scored. Santander a hit, walked once. Henderson, over, does drive in a runner, and walks twice himself. Mountcastle with 2 hits and a run scored. Eloy Jimenez. 2 hits and RBI, scores twice. O'Hearn pinch hitting late for Jimenez. Again, the lefty-righty thing. O'Hearn does get a hit in 2 at-bats and scores once. Jackson Holliday, 4 hits. Only 1 RBI, which is somewhat disappointing with 4 hits, but a few people were getting on in front of him. The slugging really isn't there that much. He did get 1 extra base hit, but oh well. 4 hits is nice. As I said, the RBI, and he scored 3 times. Kid can move. I mean, he's young, he's skinny, he's athletic. Yeah, he can run well. Doesn't steal. I don't think we've seen him try to steal a base yet, but as far as running the bases, he's pretty quick. Mullins a hit. Excuse me. Mullins a hit, scored once, also walked twice. That's good. We need to see Mullins get on base more. Arias with 3 hits, 5 RBIs, scored once, and walked once. Interesting to see this much production from the bottom lineup, right? I mean, the bottom 4 spots had what? 10 hits and 7 RBIs? Wow. You don't see that too often. But, I mean, you take it, right? James McCann with 2 hits and an RBI. This was a game where Rutschman was slated to start, scratched in a cage doing batting practice, feeling some discomfort in the back. So, scratched Rutschman and McCann in the start. Some bit of news, and I saw an article. I didn't keep the article. I don't remember who wrote it. It was either Rock or Steve Molesky or Rock Kabako, and Blake Hunt, the catcher that the Orioles got in the Mike Baumann trade, has been added to the taxi squad. So he's been with the team for several days, and he is the catcher, at least in this game, and Saturday's game, was the catcher in between innings that warms up the pitcher. So, option is there if needed. I don't know that we're quite at that point yet. Mountcastle 2 doubles and Jimenez with 1 double. Jackson Holliday with a triple. Arias with a home run. Hey, look at this. Mullins, another stolen base. See, that's what happens, Mullins, when you get on base. Stop trying to get extra base hits. You just get on first and turn it into a double. Aim small. Corbin Burns gets the start in this game. Yay, we win because we got our ace. Nope, not the case. Wow. A rare stinker of a game from Corbin Burns. I'm not sure. I mean, he's had some not good outings, but I don't know if he's had an outing this bad this whole season. Only lasts 4 innings, gives up 10 hits, 8 runs, walks 3, strikes out 7. Kind of disappointing that couldn't get a good outing out of him for this series. Keegan Aiken on in relief of Burns. pitches 2 full innings. So you kind of get, Aiken going 2 innings does save the bullpen a bit, which the bullpen really needs saving because going to be down a pitcher here in a minute. In his 2 full innings, pitching the 5th and the 6th, no hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Wow. Craig Kimbrell on for the 7th inning. Yeah. Don't know what's going on with this guy. Don't know. Never thought we'd get to a point where it's like, okay, we can't use Craig Kimbrell. If this goes too much longer, you're going to have to just designate him for assignment or release him or whatever you are even allowed to do with a guy that has that much service time. Because you can still designate them for assignment, but because of their service time, they can refuse the assignment. Now, you still have to end up paying him, but at least you get a roster spot. You get a roster spot back with somebody that hopefully can pitch better. Don't know if that guy is Craig Kimbrell right now. They're still trying to work on some stuff, but at some point, you just got to cut him loose. And again, I don't know that we're at that point. I don't understand why we're even at this point. Oh my God, you can't have... the game's a blowout. It's a blowout game. Right? I mean, the Orioles were trying to make it interesting, but though I've often thought that Boston is doing something because they seem to hit really well at Camden Yards, like a little too well. And Joey Cora is the manager, but who the hell knows what's actually going on? Kimbrell pitching the full 7th inning that gives up 2 hits, 3 runs, walks 1. A home run to Duran. And a home run to Hamilton. So it gives up a solo shot and a 2-run shot. Okay. Whatever. Birch Smith on for the 8th inning. And the bad outings continue. Again, you don't know. I mean, is it the Red Sox doing something or is it the Orioles just not doing something right? The whole game they're giving up runs. Is it just one of those games or what? Birch Smith pitches the full 8th inning, gives up 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, strikes out 1. Bryant Baker on for the 9th inning, pitching the full 9th inning, no hits, no runs, walks 1, strikes out 1. Let's get to Saturday's game. Not that much better of a game. As in, the Orioles still lost. Boston Red Sox 5, Baltimore Orioles 1. Kowser 0 walked once. Santander 0. Henderson 2 hits, an RBI, and a run scored. O'Hearn a hit and a walk. Mountcastle 0. O'Hearn getting the start in right field. Holiday 1 hit. Mullins 0 walked once. Urias 1 hit. Jimenez pinch hitting late, 0. James McCann, 0, though he did walk once. Somewhere in the 6th or 7th inning, the Orioles get 2 runners on for James McCann. And Brandon Hyde, as he usually does, wants to pinch hit for James McCann. You certainly understand the logic there, but at the same time, McCann anyway, has been doing a little better. Do you want to use Rutschman here, knowing that yesterday you had to scratch him because of back tightness? I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say. Again, I'm sitting here with, hindsight, and he's sitting there with hindsight in the middle of the game, and I'm here picking it apart after. But honestly, I was at the game, and I was yelling at him at the time it was happening. Of course, I don't know the extent of the back stiffness of Rutschman. How bad is it? Do you want to make it worse by putting him in there? And not even just as a pinch hitter, but then have to go catch several innings. Again, without knowing the extent of the back injury, though suffering from some back stiffness and tightness myself on occasions, I say no, I'm not going to put Rutschman in there. Not at catcher. If he was first base, it'd be a little different. Not at catcher. But that's what happened. Rutschman pinch hitting for McCann with 2 runners on, and then goes in and catches several innings, and then actually does get another at bat and goes over. So it didn't work. There's another reason why I'm saying, like, I wouldn't do it. But, it's hard to ignore that. I'm sitting here looking right at it. Or I watched it happen. Henderson with a home run. Part of the problem why the Orioles didn't get that many runs is Brian Bayo was pitching for the Red Sox. He's a pretty good starting pitcher. Cade Povich gets to start in this game for the Orioles. Yes, that's right. Cade Povich. Brian Baker sent down Cade Povich on the roster, and the idea was you insert Povich here, and it pushes everybody back a day. Again, Orioles in the middle of a 13-game stretch here with no days off, so it does aid that. It does aid the rotation going forward. Hopefully, we'll see. Cade Povich goes 6 1/3. Again, he was only at 89 pitches. I think he was at even 80 when the 7th inning started. And again, it's hard to not mention that, yes, watching this all take place and seeing what happens, it's hard for you to think, oh, Ryno, you're dissecting this after the fact. But I was also watching this happen live. And you got 6 innings, 6 great innings. It's only 1 run at the time from a minor league player that you just called up. Take it and run with it. Don't ask for more. I mean, if your bullpen can't cover 3 innings, then maybe you shouldn't have sent a reliever out. You know? Because that's what happens. Povich does get an out. Then, he gives up a hit, so there's a runner on, and then Brandon Hyde takes him out. Which I don't really get, because Povich gets the first out in the 7th inning. And okay, he gives up a hit. I get it. Here he is, only 89 pitches. You know what? If he gets the guy to roll over on one, and there's a double play, then the inning's over. I didn't like that he really let him go out there for the 7th inning. I thought you should have just brought Cano in to start the inning. Because then you're bringing Cano in in a clean inning. It's much better for relief pitchers. And 2, why the quick hook? I've always hated that about Brandon Hyde. It seems like at one point he got away from it. Something he was doing a lot earlier in his career here. Now he's going back to it now. Is it something with younger pitchers? Like he doesn't do it with Kramer much anymore. Because he's had time to work with Kramer. He didn't do it with Bradish. He doesn't really do it with Rodriguez. He's had time to build trust and build knowledge of how they are as pitchers. Maybe he doesn't have that with Povich, so, I don't know, less trust, I guess. But, because obviously we know what happens, right? Cano comes in, and it's like he throws one pitch, and then there's a double. So you got a second and third. And then he gives up another hit. So then one of Povich's runs score, which one of Povich's runs, it's really Cano's fault because he allowed 2 consecutive hits. Maybe not 2 consecutive. I think there was an out in there. But allows 2 more hits in the inning. And then Cano allows, his double to score. Does that happen if he comes in with a clean inning? Most likely no. Oh well. And honestly, Povich could have done the same thing. Right? So what was the point? What's the point? Like, the way Cano a year ago, yeah, I'd have done it. But Cano this year right now, no. It's like the book is out on him and he's just not having as much success as he was early last year. Final line for Cade Povich, 6 1/3 inning pitch, gives up 6 hits, 2 runs, no walks, strikes out 6. Again, trying to get more from that was, it's a risk. It's a gamble. It's a gamble because you got a great outing from him. Take it and run. Cano finishing off the 7th inning, pitching 2 2/3 of an inning. I'm sorry, not 2 2/3. 2/3 of an inning. Gives up 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, no strikeouts. Birch Smith on for the 8th inning, pitching 3 games in a row. I'm sure that was on camera. So, yes, pitching the full 8th inning, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. Doesn't look good, but at the same time, something that Brandon Hyde hasn't done, I'm not sure, ever. You could probably count on one hand how many times he's used a reliever to pitch an inning in 3 straight games. It doesn't happen. And it doesn't happen that often in Major League Baseball because it is hard on their arms. You do need at least a day off. I mean, 2 days on, 1 day off, yeah, they should be good. 3 days on, you're asking for trouble. And you got trouble. Gave up 2 more runs. Gregory Soto in for the 9th, because who cares now? It's 5-1. Though, of course, he has a great outing. Pitching the full 9th inning, no hits, no runs, does walk a batter, but strikes 1 out. Yeah, why can't we get this normally? All right, Game 4, Sunday's game. Boston Red Sox 2, Baltimore Orioles 4. Cowser over. O'Hearn over. Does score a run. Austin Slater pinch hitting. Did he walk? I honestly can't even remember. And then going to play left field later. Actually right field later. Again, your lefty-righty matchup there. Okay. Henderson with a hit, 2 RBIs and a run scored. Jimenez over. Rutschman, a hit, an RBI and a run scored. Okay, so maybe getting that game and a half, we'll call it, off did some good for Rutschman. I still would have liked to see him get the full 2 games, but I don't know, almost damned if you do, damned if you don't in that scenario, really. If you had 3 catchers, then maybe you could have put the other catcher in instead of, having Rutschman go and catch, but you don't really have that luxury right now. Hopefully, in about 11 days, maybe they'll bring up the 3rd catcher. I think that would benefit them most. Mountcastle, over. Jackson Holiday, over. Wow. Did they score any runs? A few of these were counted as RBIs. Mullins gets a hit. Yay! Mullins on base. Woohoo! Gotta work your way out of that pain cave, huh? Urias, over. Does walk once and score once. Rutschman and Henderson with home runs. Slater and Mullins with stolen bases. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm saying. You got to get on base, Mullins. Somehow. Play small ball. Stop trying to hit it over the fence. We all know that he can. Suarez with a throwing error, not helping out his own cause. Disappointing. Though, at the same time, got lucky, and it didn't really affect anything. Suarez gets the start in this game. Again, everybody pushed back, and it looks like it did wonders for Suarez. Pitching 6 full innings, does give up 7 hits, but no runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Take that. Cionel Perez on the pitch the 7th inning, pitching the full 7th inning, gives up 2 hits, 1 run, and 1 walk, no strikeouts. Now, Perez actually came out for the 8th inning. He allowed the batter to reach, so Brandon Hyde takes him out, puts in Cano, and actually it was Cano here that gives up Perez's run. But it's fine. Not that big a deal. Cano pitching 2/3 of an inning, actually not able to get out of the 8th inning. Because again, I said Perez started it, and then Cano on in relief a few batters into the 8th inning. Cano gives up a hit, no runs, does walk a batter, strikes 2 out, but again, that one charge to Perez was because Cano gives up the hit. And with a few runners on, Brandon Hyde not allowing Cano to go any longer, bringing in Sir Anthony Dominguez, newly appointed closer for the Orioles, at least until Kimbrel gets back right, if he even can. Because I don't know that you really want Cano to do the closing. He's not that good either. Or at least his performances have been better than Kimbrel's recently, but not by that much. does get a pop out with his only batter faced in the 8th inning. Very timely there. So not only pitching the last out of the 8th inning, but pitching the full 9th inning. Sir Anthony Dominguez pitches 1 1/3 of an inning. Does give up a hit and does give up a run, but no walks and strikes out 3. There you go for his 4th save. Yay! Let's go on to some articles. This article written by Steve Molesky talking about Povich up for his start and Brian Baker going back down to Norfolk. And congratulations and thank you for a wonderful performance, Cade Povich. But as Rock Kabako mentions here, Cade Povich back down to Norfolk, and Mr. Shelby, Colin Shelby, coming to the bullpen because you needed another arm. You needed it. Would love for Povich to stay around, but 6-man rotation isn't exactly an option right now. And another article written by Rock Kubako giving some updates to the injuries of Rutschman and Rodriguez and Webb, and a little bit of Westberg and Coulomb. Rutschman, again, I don't know the extent. Lower back discomfort, and you see how he came into the game. When he was in the game Sunday, he started the game and he hit a home run. So he's probably okay, unless something tweaks it. We'll see. I'll have to keep an eye on it moving forward. Rodriguez did start throwing just off a flat ground. He's not that close to coming back. He's really not. He's at least 2, maybe 3 weeks away. And Webb's on about the same timetable. Throwing, but still 2 weeks. Webb, I think they're all estimating, according to this article, that Webb may be a little bit before Rodriguez. And they're thinking the same thing with, Coulomb and Westberg. They're thinking mid to late September for them. So mid to late September timetable we're looking at for Rutschman and Coulomb and Westberg. And we're thinking early September to mid-September for Webb. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, everybody. All right, wrap this up. Get to the schedule and get out of here. Monday, that's today. No off day. Orioles are in New York. Going to face the Mets. 3 games set. Monday's game scheduled for 7:10. Tuesday's game scheduled for 7:10. Wednesday's game scheduled for 1:10. Got to get out of here, and then you got to come back to Baltimore to face the Astros. Weird. And you can see that the Astros game is Thursday, so no day off. So while that is going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report, please stay tuned for Thursday, and I will go over the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the New York Mets. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.